Shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all honor and glory to Yahweh Bashem Hamashiach Yahushai. I am servant Ariel, and I'm continuing to keep the faith. And I want to say peace and salutations to all the brothers out there bringing out this truth. Great Millstone and Nonstop on the Block. All the brothers, Hopeful Elect, all the brothers, the collective of all the brothers out there bringing out this truth with sincerity. And I want to just say peace and salutations to all of you and all the Aquas that's out there being those virtuous women of the Most High Yahweh. And I want to do this lesson titled The Wicked's Bounds They Cannot Pass. And I'm going to start with the book of Baruch, chapter 3 and verse 1 through 6. And it reads, O Lord Almighty, Yahweh of Israel, the soul in anguish, the troubled spirit crieth unto thee. Hear, O Lord, and have mercy, for thou art merciful, and have pity upon us, because we have sinned before thee. Yes, our forefathers, which really was we're really the people that were back then, regenerated. We've all sinned and come short of the glory. So the Lord, he's punished our people, but he said he's never going to leave us nor forsake us. Verse 3, for thou endurest forever, and we perish utterly. Verse 4, O Lord Almighty, thou Yahweh of Israel, hear now the prayers of the dead Israelites and of their children which have sinned before thee, and not hearken unto the voice of thee and their God Yahweh, for the which caused these plagues cleave unto us. So it was all on us. So we put ourselves in this predicament, and now we have to, since it was our mind to go astray, we have to seek the Most High 10 times more. Verse 5, remember not the iniquities of our forefathers, but think upon thy power and thy name now at this time. Verse 6, for thou art the Lord our God, Yahweh, and thee, O Lord, will we praise. So we're going to always praise Yahweh Bashem and Mashiach Yahushai. We're going to always give thanks, glory, and honor to him. Now I'm going over to chapter 2 of Baruch, and I'm going to read verse 6 to 15, and it reads, to the Lord our God Yahweh appertaineth righteousness, but unto us and to our fathers open shame, as appeareth this day. So it's on us. We've had to go through this because we turn our backs on the Most High. So that's why I brought out the one in Baruch. Since it was our mind to go astray in Baruch 4, we have to seek him 10 times more. Verse 6, for all these plagues are come upon us, which the Lord hath pronounced against us. Verse 8, yet have we not prayed before the Lord, that we might turn every one from the imaginations of his wicked heart. So the Lord is pleading to us to turn from our ways, and he will abundantly pardon us. Like he said through the prophet Isaiah, we have to have the renewing of our minds and get new minds and new hearts. Verse 8, yet have we not prayed before the Lord, that we might turn everyone from the imaginations of his wicked heart. Verse 9, wherefore the Lord watched over us for evil, and the Lord hath brought it upon us. For the Lord is righteous in all his works, which he hath commanded us. So he's about just weights and balances. So he's going to do all the things that he said in the scriptures. He's going to stay faithful to himself. Verse 10, yet we have not hearkened unto his voice, to walk in the commandments of the Lord that he hath set before us. See, this is the reason we're in the captivity. He's explaining it. Verse 11, and now, O Lord Yahweh of Israel, that has brought thy people out of the land of Egypt with a mighty hand and a high arm, and with signs and with wonders, and with great power, and has gotten thyself a name as appeareth this day. Verse 12, O Lord our God Yahweh, we have sinned, we have done ungodly, we have dealt unrighteously in all thine ordinances. Verse 13, let thy wrath turn from us, for we are but a few left among the heathens, where thou hast scattered us. So Baruch was pleading and asking for the Lord to, turn the wrath from us. And I want to say shalom to Micaiah just came in the chat. Yahweh Bashem and Mashiach Yahweh Shai Barakatah to you and yours. Verse 13. Let thy wrath turn from us, for we are but a few. Left among the heathens, Salakia, where thou hast scattered us. Verse 14. Hear our prayers, O Lord, and our petitions, and deliver us for thine own sake, and give us favor in the sight of them which have led us away. So Baruch is pleading for the Lord to get us out of this captivity, and that's what we're doing. We're asking the Lord to remember the oath that he made to our forefathers, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Verse 15, let all the earth, Salakia, may know that thou art the Lord our God, Yahweh, because Israel and his posterity is called by thy name. So he chose Yasharallah from the foundation of the world. So he's going to remember the oath and the covenant that he made. So it's now all our people have to do is what the prophet Isaiah said. He said to return back. We have to return, and he will abundantly pardon us. I'm going to the book of 2nd Esdras, chapter 15. Book of 2nd Esdras, chapter 15, and I'm going to read verse 5 through 12, and it reads, Behold, saith the Lord, I will bring plagues upon the world, the sword, famine, death, and destruction. For wickedness has exceedingly polluted the whole earth, and their hurtful works are fulfilled. So now the prophet Esdras is saying now how the Lord is going to punish these heathens from Esau on down to the rest of them. Verse 7, Therefore saith the Lord, I will hold my tongue no more as touching their wickedness, which they profanely commit. Neither will I suffer them in those things in which they wickedly exercise themselves. Behold, the innocent and righteous blood crieth unto me, and the souls of the just complain continually. That's what we're doing. We're crying, we're sighing and crying. And also the ones that have been killed unjustly of our people, they're sighing and crying to the Lord continually. Verse 9, And therefore saith the Lord, I will surely avenge them, and receive unto me all the innocent blood from among them. So this is the good news for Yasharallah. The Lord is going to take vengeance, and he's not going to meet them as a man, like the prophet Isaiah said. Verse 10, Behold, my people is led as a flock to the slaughter, and I will not suffer them now to dwell in the land of Egypt. So he's got a time appointed to get us out of this captivity when he's going to send Hamashiach Yahweh Shai, who is seated on the right hand of Yahweh. He has a day appointed for him. Once that order goes from the heavenly Father Yahweh, then this place is done. Verse 11, But I will bring them with a mighty hand and a stretched out arm, and smite Egypt with plagues as before, and will destroy all the land thereof. So they're going to get what's coming to them, because this is going with what Paul said in Galatians. Be not deceived. Yahweh is not mocked. For whatsoever a man soweth, that shall he also reap. And shalom to Yahra from 12 stones. Yahweh Bashem and Mashiach Yahweh Shai Barakatham to you. Verse 12, Egypt shall mourn, and the foundation of it shall be smitten with the plague and punishment that Yahweh shall bring upon it. So they're gonna get everything they dished out to Yasharallah. It's coming. The Lord, he's already doing it. You know, in the book of Exodus, there's a precept in there how he says by little and little. Says he's not going to do it all in one day, because the land would become desolate. But he says by little and little, he's going to get them. And that's what he's doing. Deuteronomy chapter 30. Deuteronomy chapter 30 and verse 7 through 9. And it reads, And the Lord thy God Yahweh will put all these curses upon thine enemies and on them that hate thee, which persecuted thee. So he's reversing the curse. It's going on to all the heathens now. Verse 8, And thou shalt return and obey the voice of the Lord, and do all his commandments, which I commanded thee this day. So we're going to our he's going to get our people back on track. Like our people are coming around. It looks like a lot of them are being sealed. You know, he's sealing his elect as we speak. Verse 9, and the Lord thy God will make thee plenteous in every work of thine hand, in the fruit of the body, and in the fruit of thy cattle, and in the fruit of thy land, for good. For the Lord will again rejoice over thee for good, as he rejoiced over thy forefathers. So we're going back to our rightful state. This is what he promised. And he's not a God. He's not a God that he should lie. If he said it, he's going to make it good. So we just have to be patient and wait on the Lord and be of good courage. And he's going to strengthen our hearts. David said it twice. He said, wait, I say, on the Lord. So that's what we're doing. We're waiting patiently. The book of Psalms chapter 50. And I'm going to read verse 16. I'm going to start at 16 and go down to 23. And it reads, but unto the wicked, Yahweh saith, what hast thou to do to declare my statutes, or that thou shouldest take my covenant in thy mouth? Verse 17, seeing that thou hatest instructions and castest my words behind thee. So he's asking the question to Esau and all those heathens, why are you picking up the Holy Scriptures, seeing that you're not going to do anything it says in the Scriptures? Verse 18, when thou sawest a thief, then thou contendest with him, and has been partakers with adulterers. So that's Yahushua said it in John 10, said the thief cometh not, but for to kill and to steal and to destroy. But I have come that they may have life in all its fullness. Verse 19, thou givest thy mouth to evil, and thy tongue frameth deceit. Thou sittest and speakest against thy brother, thou slanderest thine own mother's son. So they're slandering, Esau has been slandering Jacob all through time. And he actually said that, he said, after our father Isaac dies, I'm going to kill my brother Jacob. It says that in Genesis. But how they've been doing us, putting us on our people on the news, on the media, always putting, every time they do something, they're like, we're the only ones that commit the crimes, when they're the ones that did most of the crimes all over the world. But they're slandering their brothers, whether they're celebrities or any of our people, they get slandered. Verse 21, these things hast thou done, and I kept silence. Thou thoughtest that I was altogether such as one as thyself, but I will reprove thee. He said he's going to correct them and set them in order before thine eyes. So the Lord he's going to take care of them, just like he said. Verse 22, now consider this, ye that forget Yahweh, lest I tear you in pieces, and there be none to deliver. So this was a warning, but they didn't take it to heart. Verse 23, whoso offereth praise, glorify me, and to him that ordereth his conversation aright, will I show the salvation of Yahweh. So all they're doing is speaking lies. It's that's all they speak out of their mouth is lies. Esau's just a liar. Going to the book of Lamentations, chapter 4. Book of Lamentations, chapter 4, verse 18 to 23, and it reads, they hunt our steps, that we cannot go in our streets. Our end is near, our days are fulfilled, for our end is come. Our persecutors are swifter than eagles of the heaven. They pursued us upon the mountains. They laid wait for us in the wilderness. So he's going back to the time when they went to the holy mountain and touched his precious things, which is Yasharallah, our people. 20, the breath of our nostrils, the anointed of the Lord was taken in their pits, of whom we said, under his shadow we shall live among the heathens. And we've been living amongst them ever since. This is the seventh captivity. This is the last, this is the number of completion. Because we were in the Egyptian captivity, the Babylonian captivity, the Persians, the Medes, the Assyrians. This is the Roman captivity too. But this spiritual Babylon in Egypt is number 7. 21. Rejoice and be glad, O daughters of Edom, O daughter of Edom, that dwellest in the land of Uz. The cup shall pass through unto thee. Thou shalt be drunken and shall make thyself naked. Verse 22. The punishment of thine iniquity is accomplished, O daughter of Zion. He will no more carry thee away into captivity. He will visit thine iniquity, O daughter of Edom. He will discover thy sins. So he's putting these same curses that he put on Yasharallah. It's going on Esau and all the heathens. Now they're getting their punishment now. The book of Proverbs, chapter 15 and verse 3. They didn't get away with anything. The eyes of the Lord are in every place, beholding the evil and the good. So it's been seen. The Most High Yahweh has seen it. The anointed Son, Hamashiach, who's seated on the right hand, and the angelic angels. We've been under the cloud of witnesses the whole time. And it's been recorded, everything they've done. Colossians chapter 3 and verse 25, and it reads, but he that doeth wrong shall receive for the wrong which he hath done, and there is no respect of persons. So it doesn't matter if it's been the president, the governor. He just took out Jacob Rothschild. So it doesn't matter what status they are. He's coming after all his adversaries. He said, let me read that again. But he that doeth wrong shall receive for the wrong which he hath done, and there is no respect of persons. So he's coming after all of them, whoever they are. The book of Job. I'm going to chapter 14, and I'm going to read verse 4 through 7, and it reads, who can bring a clean thing out of an unclean? No, not one, because there's another precept where he said, who can make straight what he has made crooked? Well, Esau, the way they are, they were made that way. So they're doing what they're supposed to, being the wicked on the earth. So he's like, who can bring a clean thing out of an unclean? Not one, but he's going to do it. Verse 5, seeing his days are determined, the number of his months are with thee. Thou hast appointed his bounds that he cannot pass. So that's why it happened to that Jacob Rothschild. He wasn't going to pass the bounds that the Lord's appointed to him. So he got to that point, and that was the end. Turn from him that he may rest till he shall accomplish as a hireling this day. Verse 7, for there is hope of a tree, if it be cut down, that it will sprout again. Because, yeah, there's hope in a tree, and I've seen it in my own yard. We cut this big tree down when we were putting up a fence, and then the Lord brought that tree back because we didn't pull it up from the trunk. We didn't get the roots all out of the ground. So it sprouted back up. But then it says that it will sprout again, and that the tender branch thereof will not cease. So the tree has hope, but he's saying how the wicked, they have no hope. There's no hope for them. The book of Job, chapter 18, verse 17 to 21, and it reads, his remembrance shall perish from the earth, and he shall have no name in the street. Verse 18, he shall be driven from light into darkness and chased out of the world. Verse 19, he shall neither have son nor nephew among his people, nor any remaining in his dwellings. Because the Lord, he's going to cut off their posterity, their bloodline. Once Hamashiach Yahushua returns, they're going into slavery, Esau and the heathens. But then after they rebuild the desolate places, he's going to get rid of them after 1,000 years. Verse 20, and it reads, they that come after him shall be astonished at his day, as they that went before were affrighted. Verse 21, surely such are the dwellings of the wicked, and this is the place of him that knoweth not Yahweh. There's not going to be a place for them. They're not going to get the kingdom at all. This is all they have, is this stuff here, this carnal stuff, their banks, their money, their cars, their houses, all their financial stuff. And after this is done, he gets this place desolate. That's the end of them. the book of Hebrews, chapter 10, and I'm going to go to verse 30, and I'm going to read down to 39 in Hebrews. And it reads, "For we know him that has said, Vengeance belongeth unto me. I will recompense, saith the Lord. And again, the Lord shall judge his people." Verse 31, "It is a fearful thing to fall into the hands of the living Yahweh." Look at what he did to Yasharallah. So if he did that to his own people, what do they think is going to happen to them? 32, "But call to remembrance the former days, in which after you were illuminated, you endured a great fight of afflictions." 33, "Partly while you were made a gazing stock, both by reproaches and afflictions," because they look at us and they shake their head and look like, oh, they're always looking down on us, calling us the proverbs, the bywords. We're the gazing stock. "And partly while you became companions of them that were so used." So this is what our people have had to go through with them. 34, "For you had compassion of me in my bonds, and took joyfully the spoiling of your goods, knowing in yourselves that you have in heaven a better and enduring substance." Verse 35, "Cast not away therefore your confidence, which had great recompense of reward." So that reward is coming, like he said in Revelations. He said, I'm coming quickly, and my reward is with me to give every man according as his work shall be. Verse 36, "For you have need of patience, that after you have done the will of Yahweh, you might receive the promise." So we're praying and hoping that we can get it, Yahweh willing. Verse 37, "For yet a little while, and he that shall come will come, and will not tarry." See, a lot of people will always say, "Oh, they've been saying that Yahweh Shai is coming." They've been saying that for years, but they'll say the J word. They don't believe. But it says, "For yet a little while, and he that shall come, and will not tarry." See, a lot of them don't believe. This whole thing is about faith. What is faith? Faith is the substance of things hoped for, but the evidence of things not seen. No, we haven't seen him come yet, but that's our faith and our hope and our belief that he's coming to get us out of this captivity. Verse 38, "Now the just shall live by faith." See, it's about faith. "But if any man draw back, my soul shall have no pleasure in him." So we can't go back into the mud and the mire. Once you've seen and tasted that the Lord is good, you got to continue running this race with endurance, looking unto Hamashiach Yahushai, which is the author and finisher of our faith. Verse 39, "But we are not of them who draw back unto perdition, but of them that believe to the saving of the soul." So we hope that we're part of that number. We hope that we're part of that. I'm going to close out with Matthew chapter 5. I'm going to the words of Yahushai. I'm going to read from 1 to 16, and it reads, this is the good news for Yasharallah. "And seeing the multitudes, he went up into a mountain, and when he was set, his disciples came unto him, and he opened his mouth and taught them, saying, Blessed are the poor in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Blessed are they that mourn, for they shall be comforted." So the ones, I was watching Malak Lav earlier, and the Lord, the Spirit moved on him. Brother was breaking down, but all praises to the Most High. That's a good thing. The Lord breaks you down in the spirit like that. So this is the comforting news. Blessed are they that mourn, for they shall be comforted. Verse 5, "Blessed are the meek, the ones that are humble, for they shall inherit the earth." Verse 6, "Blessed are they which do hunger and thirst after righteousness, for they shall be filled." The ones that are hungry for this wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, Yahushua said he's going to fill their cup. And we want our cups to run over, like David said. "Blessed are the merciful, for they shall obtain mercy." Verse 8, "Blessed are the pure in heart, for they shall see Yahweh." Verse 9, "Blessed are the peacemakers, for they shall be called the children of Yahweh." Verse 10, this is all good news from the anointed Savior. "Blessed are they which are persecuted for righteousness' sake, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. So we're going through the persecution and the trials and the afflictions, but the Lord said, blessed are you that go through this. So Yahweh willing, we get the kingdom of heaven. Verse 11, blessed are ye when men shall revile you and persecute you, and shall say all manner of evil against you falsely for my name's sake. Verse 12, rejoice and be exceeding glad, for great is your reward in heaven. For so persecuted they the prophets which were before you. So everything we're going through, it's nothing new under the sun, Solomon said. He says, you may say that this is new, but I tell you it was done in times past, for there is no new thing under the sun. And Shalom to Malak Ross Hezekiah Tate, Yahweh Bashem and Mashiach Yahushai to you. Then it reads, 13, ye are the salt of the earth, but if the salt has lost his savior, wherewith shall it be salted? It is thenceforth good for nothing, but to be cast out and to be trodden under foot of men. Verse 14, ye are the light of the world. A city that is set on a hill cannot be hid. So we can't hide. If the Lord has given you this wisdom, he's giving you the penny, he's giving you the knowledge, the understanding, you got to let it out. You got to get out there and bring it out. Verse 15, neither do men light a candle and put it under a bushel, but on a candlestick, and it giveth light unto all that are in the house. Then he said in 16, let your light so shine before men that they may see your good works and glorify your Father which is in heaven. So that's what we got to do. We got to follow our Lord and Governor, because he is the light of the world. It says it in John 8, verse 12. It says, I am the light of the world. He that followeth me shall not walk in darkness, but shall have the light of life. So we want to continue to keep that light burning, stay girded up, keep the whole armor on, like Paul said, put on the whole armor of Yahweh. And, put on the helmet of salvation, the breastplate of righteousness, the shield of faith. Keep your sword. Keep that word ready. Always be ready to swing that sword. So you can show that hope to every man that is in you with fear and trembling, like Peter said. You always be ready to tell them for the hope that is in you. So this is the lesson the Lord put in the spirit today. So I just hope it was edifying to everyone that tuned in. I want to say peace and salutations, all the brothers out there and the Aquas that are staying diligent. We got to stay diligent, because he said he is a rewarder to those that diligently seek him. And I want to say peace and salutations again. Love you all. And I want to give all honor and glory to Yahweh, Bashem, and Mashiach, Yahushai. Shalom.